I teach ELD, but I teach at a high school where there are only about maybe, I think, 16 to 17 English learners still in high school, but all of them have been in the States since kindergarten. So they have taken the LPAC for now, 9, 10 years, and they still have not passed it. And so they really are the lifelong, lifetime learners or long-term learners of English. And so their stamina in reading is it's very low. Like they just oftentimes what I found is like, they just refuse to read at first of all. And so I'll get into that a little bit, but with Listenwise, they can listen, and it takes a little of that lift off. And so I just had kind of wanted to let you know how I use it and what students. But last year we were working on specific skills of using context for vocabulary and inference. And so I realized as I was going through different Listenwise questions that they're also, like, for each one of them, they have these types of questions, as you can see, that really are self-contained. So obviously, main idea, they would need to read the whole thing for the questions about like what happened in the reading, but for the context and vocabulary, it gives this example that you wouldn't necessarily have to read the whole thing or listen to the whole thing to be able to focus on this skill. So for this one, is an example of the vocabulary one, and it takes a segment of it. But again, for my readers who need to work on context skills, but are going to be worn out from listening or reading to a whole, few minute thing, they can practice that skill. And if you want to go to the next one, I believe that was the inference. Perfect. And this was actually my favorite because it's just difficult to find resources for inference that really are similar to those like standardized texting or tests for English learners. And so this is what I did is I would take multiple inference questions from different stories and have them practice even just individually these questions. So again, it has the paragraph right there. You don't need the whole other part for that. So if you want to take a specific skill and work on it, they have all of these embedded in their quizzes.